Hey everyone, welcome to Do It While You're Young. I'm Brett, and today we have Sydney Osmun. Sydney started her own destination management company where she plans corporate and special events. Some very, very big events, and that's all I'm going to say. I'll let Sydney fill in the rest of the details. Here's what you're going to get out of watching this interview. You'll learn how Sydney started her own destination management company after just 6 months working for a company by going head-to-head with some very large competitors. You'll also learn how she uses contractors to maintain a location-independent lifestyle. And finally, you'll learn how Sydney's experience as a student athlete in college led to a passion in traveling. For those viewers interested in starting a travel blog of your own, you'll be surprised at how easy it is to launch your site with hosting from our preferred provider, HostGator. You can run your own travel blog for as little as $4 a month. Enter DIYY.com/HostGator. You'll be taken to HostGator's site where you can use the coupon code DIYY discount to get your first month free. If you're looking for a little more hand-holding in launching a travel blog or your own travel-related business, consider our own ebook, How to Start a Travel Blog and Earn Your First $1,000. The book is over 60 pages, comprising 7 chapters, including how to avoid the #1 mistake that most people make when starting a travel blog, the non-techie guide to a super simple site launch, and 6 ways to make your first $1,000 online. You can read and take action on each step in as little as 30 minutes a day. Point your browser to doitwhileyou'reyoung.com/travelblog ebook, or simply click on the link from our homepage where you'll get instant access to this ebook and free bonuses. I wanted to quick highlight a couple of great feature articles contributed by 2 of our over 100 travel writers who write for Do It While You're Young. If you've ever considered volunteering abroad, Dunya Carter gives some advice on what you need to consider before making that final decision to commit. Also, if you've ever wondered what life is like in Cuba, Elaine Mesker Garcia gives us a picture into middle-class family life. She tells a story of daily cafecitos, chatty neighbors that can hear everything through your open windows, and deliciously creamy homemade arroz con leche. We're always looking for talented writers and photographers who want to contribute to the Do It While You're Young community. Your work will be seen by thousands, in helping to promote your personal brand. If your goals are simply to start a conversation about a topic or issue that you're passionate about, we'd love to have you. Go to doitwhileyou'reyoung.com/travelwriterswanted. You can find the link from our homepage in the upper right-hand corner. And that's it for announcements. Let's get started with Sydney. How did you decide to start an events planning business, and kind of take me through that process?
Sure. Well, I grew up in a really, really small town in Nevada, and there was not much for us to do there. And so growing up, I was really into the music scene, and I started planning concerts in my parents' basement. And I thought, hey, I'm pretty good at this. We would have touring bands stop because we were right on the freeway. And, we would have anywhere from 100 to 350 kids at a time at these concerts. And started raising money for it, and I would donate to different charities. And it was just something that I really fell in love with, and that the other kids in my small community could kind of grasp onto as well. So I went to the University of Utah, and I was in the Parks, Recreation, and Tourism department, and I kind of fell into the event planning and hospitality side of it because it was something I really love to do. I joined an organization called Meeting Professionals International, where I won a few scholarships, and I was a speaker at the World Education Congress and attended the World Education Congress 4 different times, representing the Future Leaders Forum. So it's something I really fell in love with and really connected with. The planning event industry is crazy. It's never boring, and I like that. I don't like 9-to-5 jobs. I like something that's going to keep me on my toes. So I decided to really pursue this career. Right after school, I was hired by an international destination management company, and after maybe 6 months, I got laid off. So I thought, well, that's okay. I feel like I can do this on my own now. So I did a bunch of research and, got some different advice. They have free advice forums here in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I thought, I'll go to a few of them, decided to open up my own business. And I put out a bid against the other 2 largest destination management companies in Salt Lake, and I won the bid. And I thought, okay, well, we're in business now.
Sure.
So I hired a bunch of friends and family members, and my first event was for 650 people. It was a national conference, and it went off with a hit. So after that, I gained some confidence, and I've just been planning corporate and incentive travel and a
Okay.
few weddings here and there.
Excellent.
So,
And if you had to pick anything in your college or in your upbringing that kind of gave you the self-confidence to, I mean, it's a pretty big step to go from being employed in a company to 6 months later having your own company and having employees. Was there
right.
anything in your college or your previous experience that kind of gave you that confidence to say, yeah, I can do this?
Yeah, I've always been kind of a free spirit. When I was little, my parents always say you can do anything you want, so I thought, well, if I can really do anything I want, then I would rather be my own boss and plan my own work schedule.
Hmm.
So that was the main boost of confidence for me, because I love traveling and I wanted to be able to not just take the 2 weeks off, to take, a month off if I choose, but also at the same time be responsible with my company so I can still grow it as well.
Okay.
So
Excellent. So it sounded like you kind of had the idea that you wanted to combine a career with travel, and in college, did you do any kind of study abroad, or where did you get bit by the travel bug?
yeah, I was actually a student athlete, so I ran cross country and track
Mm.
for University of Utah. And being a student athlete, I mean, we had no time to do anything. So I got a little bit burnt out. So right after graduation, I decided I'm just going to travel. And I went for about 2 months. I just toured Eastern Europe. And after that, I decided, wow, we have such a beautiful world. And I've
Mhm.
only been to, so little of it. I have so much more I need to explore now. So.
Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Eastern Europe is a place that I've never been, but I've heard it's beautiful and like
Oh,
to
it's
get there.
beautiful. It's
Yeah.
great. So I definitely got the travel bug after graduating university, and then just kind of took off, and now I can't stop.
Yeah.
So
Right. Huh. And so with your business now, are you able to be location independent? Like, kind of take me through, what does your business look like? Do you have a place of business where you go into work every day, or is everyone working remotely? How does that work?
yeah, it's basically it's just me until I get an event, and then I contract out certain people that I trust, to help me out with the event. But as long as I have my laptop and my phone, I can do business anywhere around the world. So it's
Hmm.
really been a blessing. Um, I usually get most of my clients from the World Education Congress. It's an annual meeting for event planners, and I'm a I usually go, and I get most of my clients there. And whenever I can, I invite them to Salt Lake and show them, what Salt Lake has to offer. And then
Hmm.
we kind of take it from there. So as long as I, have Wi-Fi, I can go anywhere with my business. It's been really great. And then I like to be home at least a month to 3 weeks before an event, a big event,
Hmm.
because I really cater in detail to the specific needs. And it's nice to see, physical colors and the products instead of just on a computer screen. So
Sure. Excellent. And so this World Education Congress, is
mhm,
that, you mentioned you get most of your customers from there.
right.
Is that something that you started with day one, or how do you develop your customers? How do you basically build relationships with those
Mhm.
or potential customers, leads call them, and develop them into customers that you eventually land events for?
Yeah, I the first big client that I had, I was actually playing poker. I was in a poker tournament at this conference, and we just started talking, and she asked me a little bit about my business, and randomly enough, she was actually coming to Salt Lake City for her next or for the next show. So
Hmm.
we started talking, and she asked me to send out a bid, and I did right away. And the next day she said, great, we'll be there in 3 weeks. And I thought, oh my gosh. So I had about a little more than 3 weeks to plan a conference for 650 people. So that was crazy.
So you went into this not really even expecting to land a customer. It was just an event that you attended and recognized or decided to throw the idea out there, and they basically bit and said, yeah, let's do it. And
right. Yeah. I've only had the job experience before for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought, well, I'm still learning contracts. I'm still learning how to bid out properly, but I have the creative side of it, and I'm personable enough that I feel like some of these companies are just, the prices that they're charging are just ridiculous,
mm-hmm.
And I've been on the other side of it where I would like to do something for my client, but these destination management companies are just charging a crazy amount. And
mm-hmm.
so I thought, this is a great way to learn. And I got a lot of help from my parents, that's for sure, for my
mm-hmm.
first event. And I took off from there. She wrote some really great recommendations, and I got some more clients out of that as well. So it was really nice. And then the next year, same thing. I was just at a private function at this conference again and started networking and met someone else who was coming to Salt Lake City. And so we started talking and we did some business as well. So it's been really wonderful.
Excellent. Yeah. And so you mentioned that your parents were kind of advisors and they helped you along. If you had to pick a handful of advisors or mentors, folks that really kind of helped you build the foundation of your business, talk a little bit about those relationships.
Right. My mom is an interior designer, and so she's very creative. And growing up, we've always had, a random Tuesday night, we'll have a dinner theme. So my mom is very creative, really great cook. My dad is a businessman, and he is more on the finance side of things. And so with my mom's creative side and my dad's business, marketing, and financial side, the two of them really helped me kind of understand, what I want to do, what I should avoid. It's been really great. So out of everything, it's definitely been my family. Mm-hmm. My sister and my uncle are both professional photographers. So they've been a blessing. So I have my photographers when I do my events, and it's really been a family affair. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, that's great. So yeah. when you were hiring employees on, mm-hmm. you mentioned that you picked a number of your friends. Did you have family members who were also employees, and what was that like? Basically managing friends and family.
Yeah, they were great. It wasn't like friends and family when I was working. They were. I thought it would be a little difficult to manage since I had such a huge conference, but really it was wonderful. I told them what I wanted, what I expected, and boom, I had great results. So yeah, my parents, they weren't treating me like their daughter. They were treating me like their boss. And it was awesome. My sister was listening to directions, mm-hmm. And I had a few friends who are also in the events industry. So they understand the world that we're coming from. So it was really went off with a hitch. So all the events that I do, I hire my family, of course, and then my friends that I've already built these relationships with, and I've never had a problem.
Sure.
So they all come on time and they wear their uniforms, and really, it's been really great. And then, of course, after, we kind of celebrate and make sure that, they're appreciated.
Sure, so. Definitely. That's important to kind of reflect after a big event, especially when you're doing events for 600 people. I'm sure everyone gets really kind of stressed as the day approaches, right? So.
Oh yeah, I mean, we've had my first big event. It was a Midsummer Night's Dream theme with 650 people. So I thought, okay, well, we've got to go big. So I came up with the idea to get trees, full life trees in there, and my poor dad was chopping trees down in the mountains, and we brought them in with a U-Haul, and my mom was decorating them, and I mean, it was crazy, but I have such a great family that everyone was hands-on for, the full 48 hours before the event, and it was great.
Sure.
So,
So yeah, that's great. So we've talked a lot about the successes that you've had. How about challenges that you've faced? And I guess how long has Mint been going? So kind of give me an idea of how long you've been doing this, and also what some of the bigger challenges that you've had as a company.
okay. I've been doing it for about a year and a half, so
Okay.
not that long. My biggest challenge is I was 23 when I opened my business. My voice, I sound like I'm 12. So when I was doing cold calls, actually it was a bit challenging just because I'm 23. I just started this business, and my competition, they're huge. They're known around the world. They're very big, amazing companies. And so it was definitely hard to go against two top dogs, and then, me being a 23-year-old female. So that was really challenging. Also, the website has been difficult. I'm not a genius by any means when it comes to computer technology. So that's been another challenge of mine, and just finding the money to put back into the business.
Okay.
So, only being a year and a half into it, I'm feeling I'm doing pretty well. But my 5-year goal, I'm hoping to have, a great website, and hoping to travel more to these different conferences and really book more clients. So it's a slow process,
Sure.
but I think those are my biggest challenges, just being a party of one and not having a team come in when we meet with our clients. So.
Okay. Did you find it difficult to start cold calling people? I think this is one thing that terrifies a lot of budding entrepreneurs, folks that realize that in order to start making sales, they need to start calling on customers, and that that cold call is the dreaded first step in that process. How did you kind of tackle that?
I was a sales and marketing intern for a large ski group here in Salt Lake, and my job was to do cold calls. And so they kind of threw me into it, and I'm a talker, I'm a people person. So these cold calls began to be a little excessive. I'd get to meet the person, and we would talk, and so I'd build these great relationships with these people, and then I would be afraid to really nail the sale because I was having so much fun talking to them about what they need. And so after my internship, I got over that. The whole point of a sales call is to nail the sale. So I enjoy sales calls. I think it is fun to really show them what I can do for them. I love designing the proposal. So what I usually do is just tell them a little bit about myself. I don't have an overhead cost. My percentage is a lot less than, my competition because it's just me. So I'm blessed enough where I don't have to worry about, 12, 15 other employees' salaries.
Sure.
Since I just have private contractors. So, I basically sell my business that way, but it took me a few months to really kind of nail the perfection of my sales call, and I'm still learning. So,
was there any books or websites or resources that you used or still use today that really helped you in that process and get to that point where you felt comfortable, asking the customer to buy from you?
Yeah, actually, it's funny. I went online and I was doing research, and believe it or not, Oprah had an article about young female entrepreneurs. So I read this article and I thought, wow, I'm so empowered now because of Oprah. And they gave different links of free mentoring in your community. And so I clicked on the link and I called this organization, and I went down and I had about 2 classes, and they really taught me about taxes and, cold calls and marketing and sales. So I have to give props to Oprah, I have to say.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's why she has so many followers, huh?
Yeah.
Timely advice.
Yeah. So that was, I mean, that was really cool just because they have free mentoring for young entrepreneurs. And I thought, what a great thing to do. So
Hmm.
I'm hoping someday when I get my business established enough that I can do the same thing and hopefully be a mentor, to younger people who want to open up their own business. But
Sure.
I have quite a ways to go
Yeah.
still.
Well, I'm sure you'll do great at it. Your personality, just being loving being able to connect with people, I'm sure will make you a great mentor and a great advisor for future business leaders.
Thanks.
Um,
I hope so.
so in your 18 months, kind
Mhm.
of highlight for me the milestones. If there were two or three days or events, things that happened in your career, in your business that stand out in your mind, and kind of explain those milestones to our audience.
Right. I would say the biggest milestone was planning the national conference for the 650 people. I outbid two of the largest competition in the West. And so that was a huge milestone for me. If I wouldn't have gotten that opportunity, I don't think I would have jump started so fast. I was forced to have my contracts done,
Hmm.
my legal documents, I mean, everything done within 3 weeks. So that was really wonderful for me. And also the president of the company came up, took my hand and said this was the best conference that they have ever had. So I got a nice little bonus and a tip from it. And that was definitely a confidence booster because
Awesome.
this was my first big event on my own. Um, another really great one was I did a friend's wedding, and the parents came up to me and they just started crying and said, they live clear across the country, and the mom was really upset she couldn't be as involved,
Hmm.
and I took the time to Skype with them and took the time to really make sure that she felt involved in her daughter's wedding. And so when I finally got to meet them on the wedding day, they just broke down in tears and they were so thankful that, I helped out with this wedding. And so those two were definitely really great things, I would have to say.
Sure, sure. No, those are great stories, and I spent some time on your website, and in the show notes for our reader or our viewers, I'll have a link to Sydney's website. But there are a couple of very warm testimonials on there that I think really are testament to the great work that you do in planning weddings and other events. So let's get away a little bit from the business and talk a little bit
Mhm.
about what you like to do, travel, and in your free time. Before we started the interview here, you mentioned that you'd be headed to Kilimanjaro. Kind of explain that whole story and what you're going to be doing there.
Yeah, I'm a huge believer in paying it forward and giving it back. Growing up, my parents at the end of the day would ask, what was your good deed for today? And so it was really something that I grew up with. And I found this charity when I was actually in Spain, and I applied for it. And I didn't think I was going to get it because I'm not the most experienced paragliding pilot out
Hmm.
there, but I went for it anyway because I was so touched by what this project is doing for the three different charities. So I'm flying with 86 other pilots, and we're hiking Mount Kilimanjaro, and then we're going to paraglide off the top and raise money and awareness for the three charities. And we're hopefully going to reach our goal of $1 million. So we're building clean water wells. We're helping out in the orphanages, the schools, and then environmental protection as well down in Tanzania. So
That's great.
yeah, so pretty cool things. I offered my services if there's anything that I can do to help
Hmm. Sure.
plan it. So I think when I'm down there, they're definitely going to pull me in. I hope so. So it was a pretty exciting event. Little nervous, but definitely
Hmm.
excited to get down there. And I think the experience of paragliding off Mount Kilimanjaro is
Yeah.
just going to be, breathtaking. I don't think I'll have any words the entire time. So
And you mentioned that this is something that no one else has done. Paragliding off of Kilimanjaro is actually illegal, but the government, they made an exception for your group because of the charity work that you guys would be doing.
right, right. So they made an exception because we're donating so much money. The team pilots, they have been unbelievable.
Hmm.
Paula and Adrian and Matt, the different people who are actually leading this, have been just amazing. So I'm really honored and proud to be a part of this team, and to break the world record of having the 86 or 87 of a pilot, flying off the top of Kilimanjaro.
Sure.
So, and I'm really excited to meet the different people. I'm just inspired by some of their stories, and so I'm hoping to learn a lot and hopefully make new contacts and friends from the experience.
Definitely.
So,
Oh, what a great adventure. I'm jealous.
yeah,
I'm sure everyone
I'm
else will be.
super excited.
Well, cool. And after you're done with Tanzania or with Kilimanjaro,
Mhm.
what are your plans? You mentioned that you were looking to move abroad again. You just returned from a trip to Spain, but what else are you planning after Kilimanjaro?
Well, I would love to move back to Spain again.
Mhm.
The people there were just so hospitable. I felt so blessed to be there, and they're just amazing. I felt right at home when I was there. But there's no plans just yet.
Okay.
I might buckle down in Salt Lake for a little bit and really bust out a few events,
Hmm.
and then try to kind of make my way over again overseas to do some more events. My dream is to go to Iceland, so
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get over to Iceland, maybe plan a few good events in Iceland and see where it
Sure.
takes me.
Yeah, and so you are planning your events mostly in the Salt Lake area, right?
I am. Yeah, I
So
specialize in Salt Lake and Park
okay.
City. So,
And so really just starting to scratch the surface of thinking about planning events abroad, and I'm sure all the challenges and the adventure of planning something not in a setting that you're familiar with, but somewhere completely different.
right,
Yeah,
right. So, yeah, there's a lot of things I need to read up on before
sure.
I make that commitment. But yeah, I specialize in Park City and Salt Lake. We have world class resorts. The skiing's amazing. We have beautiful hotels, and the downtown is just spectacular. So
Hmm.
I'm really passionate about Salt Lake and Park City, and we have some really amazing events here. Outdoor Retailers, it's a huge event that comes twice a year for us, and also Sundance. And those two events are actually happening next week.
Ah,
So it's a bit crazy in Utah for the next 2 weeks. So I'm
sure.
excited about it.
Yeah, definitely. There is a lot of. I've been to a Salt Lake City area once skiing up at
Hmm.
Park City, and so it
Yeah.
just has a lot to offer up there. Just we were there in the wintertime, but I'm sure summer is beautiful as well.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and then especially down south, Moab is gorgeous. We camp a lot, and so
Sure.
anywhere I go, I'm happy to be, and I'm happy to plan as many events as I possibly can.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. Well, uh, tying things up, if you had to offer some advice or insight to our viewers, either skills or lessons learned that you've picked up during your time, starting a business, what might some of those pieces of advice be?
my biggest piece of advice is just do it. Don't
I like
question
that.
yourself. It's scary, it's really a scary thing to kind of be on your own and figure out the financial things. How am I going to make this happen? But
Hmm.
the money will always come. If you believe in yourself and if you put it out into the universe, you're going to be fine. So my biggest piece of advice is just do it. Do it while you're young,
Sure.
because when you choose to settle down, I think a lot of people kind of look back and think, well, I really wish I would have done that. And, I don't want to live any regrets. So if you have an idea, go for it.
Hmm.
Push yourself. And if it doesn't work how you want it to, at least it's a good story and you can laugh about it
Yeah.
in the
Right.
future. So
Yeah.
yeah, never take yourself too seriously. Be proud of everything that you do and learn from your mistakes, because you can't improve without making a few mistakes.
Sure.
So
Sure. Yeah, excellent advice. I think the whole get out there and just do it is really well the story that you started off with your first customer. 3 weeks later, after talking with your customer, you had a signed deal and you were planning this event. So
right.
yeah, kind of trial by fire, and definitely we learn I think more from our mistakes than our successes. Right? as long as you're willing
Absolutely.
to pick yourself up, it's definitely worth going through the experience. So
Yep,
yeah,
absolutely. So no regrets. I'm really happy that I made the decision to work for myself, and it is difficult. It's hard,
mhm.
but it's also so rewarding. And it's a lot of fun. So if anyone's out there thinking about any kind of idea, I just say absolutely go for it.
Sure. All right, terrific. Well, this has been great. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with our viewers, and I wish you the best of luck and great luck with Kilimanjaro. I don't know, is there
Thanks.
going to be like a video feed or anything from the top of the mountain where we can watch?
I think so. I know we're going to have a few film people documenting the entire experience. So I'll send you the
Okay.
link.
Okay.
It's going to be pretty exciting, I think.
Yeah. And just so people watching this video, they know
Mm-hmm.
where to find you. Where can they go to learn more about you and about
Mm-hmm.
your business?
Yeah, I'm on mintevents.com, and also I have a Facebook page, and it's just Sydney Osmond Mint Events.
All right.
And then also, if anyone would like to follow us, it's Wings of Kilimanjaro, and we're still accepting donations if anyone would like to support the three amazing charities. So
Sure. Terrific. Well, I'll put both of those links up on the site so
great,
others can find you guys.
great. Well,
All
thanks
right.
so much, Brett. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye bye.
All right. Bye. That wraps up this installment of Do It While You're Young's Work and Travel interview series. Be sure to check out Sydney's Wings of Kilimanjaro page, where you can follow her adventure as she jumps off the side of Kilimanjaro in a hang glider. Before you go, please take 30 seconds to share this video with family and friends. It's as easy as clicking one of the share buttons below. Finally, are you interested in seeing us interview an entrepreneur, travel professional, or someone else you think would make for a great interview? Leave a comment below and suggest an interview, or simply leave a comment telling us how we're doing.